Well, good morning, everyone. Good morning. My name is Malcolm Brody. I'm the mayor of the city of Richmond, and I'm also the chair of the Zero Waste Committee for Metro Vancouver. And it is indeed an honor and a pleasure on behalf of Metro Vancouver to welcome all of you here for a very special presentation. And in a few minutes, we're going to introduce our international guests who we are so pleased to have join us. From the local scene, we do have a number of elected officials who have joined us. From the province, we have the MLA for Vancouver West End, Spencer Chandra Herbert. Where are you, Spencer? Spencer. And from the city of Port Moody, we're joined by Zoe Roy, right there. And from the city of Coquitlam brings Councillor Neil Nicholson. Neil? Metro Vancouver is recognized internationally as one of the most livable regions in the entire world, and it's our role, whatever that role may be, as citizens or as business people or people from government, to do what we can to make sure that we preserve our quality of life. When we were developing the solid waste plan at Metro Vancouver a few years ago, sustainability was the overarching principle that guided us. So we developed a plan. And that plan focuses first on reduction of solid waste. We want to reuse what we can, recycle what we can, gain some value from the waste that remains by recovering some of the energy and the metals through the waste to energy process. And finally, whatever little should be left over, deposit it into a landfill. Now, while these principles are simple and they're in line with internationally recognized waste management hierarchies, and that's been followed many places in the world, moving forward has had its share of controversies, and scarcely a day goes by that we don't read about one of those controversies, whether it's around waste to energy, around extended producer responsibility, compulsory recycling of organics, or even the value and the wisdom involved in source separation. So we have brought today, and we have them with us, some experts who are going to help clarify these issues and help stimulate an important and useful conversation. We're about to hear from some parties who have traveled over the same ground that we are working through right now. For example, it was in 2008 that Metro Vancouver decided that we would shift away from landfilling, and we would replace landfilling with an emphasis on high recycling levels, composting organics, as well as waste to energy. And the people in Holland have gone through a similar process. They made similar decisions in the early 1990s. And we have today with us Herman Huisman, who is placed in charge of the national organization in Holland to deliver that change. Now, the United Kingdom is currently addressing many of the same issues that we face here today. And so we have been joined by Phil Conran and Vicky Cooper, who we will hear from shortly. They're joining us remotely to share their experiences. And to bring in the local flavor and keep us grounded local with our own realities, we have Brock McDonald from the Recycling Council of British Columbia. So I'm now going to turn the procedures over to our moderator, Peter Holt. Peter will give a more full explanation and an introduction to this morning's proceedings and talk about the direction for the dialogue. So please welcome Peter Holt. Peter?
Thank you, Malcolm. My name is Peter Holt, and I'm your moderator for today's dialogue. And I'd like to welcome you to this special Metro Vancouver Future of the Region Sustainability Dialogue series, where we'll be drawing on European examples to discuss how to move up the waste hierarchy. And thank you very much for joining us all today. Director Brody has given us a good introduction to the challenge Metro Vancouver has taken on. to implement solid waste management plan that aims to reduce the waste we generate as a society, to move to ever higher recycling rates, and gain some value from the waste that still remains. Our 4 speakers will set the scene for our dialogue by offering different experiences and perspectives on how to move most effectively in that direction. They will consider questions such as value of the source separation in raising recycling levels, the role of extender producer responsibility, and the best approaches to manage residual garbage. That's the waste left over after all other efforts to reduce, reuse, and recycle it have been made. Now, some of you are familiar with the process that our dialogues normally take, but I'll just take a moment to provide a snapshot of how this morning's discussion will unfold. First, there will be some opening presentations from each of our panelists, followed by a free-ranging discussion. Now, our discussion uses the format based on dialogue rather than debate, which means that instead of taking one position over another, we ask participants to pose questions or comments that seek to explore the different perspectives on today's issues. Our 4 distinguished panelists today are Brock MacDonald and Herman Huisman, who are here in person, and Phil Conran and Vicky Cooper by video from the UK. And it's a wonderful feed, both of you, so everyone gets a pretty good view of you there. That was the wave. That was a wave all the way from UK. And I'd like to thank the panelists, including those appearing on the screen, for being with us today. So thank you very much. Now, once we've heard from our panelists, we will open up the floor to questions. And just so you all know, today's dialogue is being webcast and recorded, and we made available on the Metro Vancouver website, which is www.metrovancouver.org. And we also have a Twitter hashtag for this event, which is hashtag MVDialogue, which is D-I-A-L-O-G.